3. Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today. It's the man they call Meathead, but I feel that's just not the right introduction for myself anymore. I am the man they call the 2023 PWR Fantasy Draft winner, along with second place Linda Kay and third place, really last, Matthew Thomas. I kid, I love.
You mean
Linda and Matthew.
Let me just clear my eyes here a moment. Yeah.
Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Matthew. Linda, how you doing?
Tremendous as always.
Good. Matthew, even though you didn't come in second or first, or you really came in last, even though third is what you should be telling.
But you know what? I get multiple weeks now to figure out who my first pick is, and to figure out if it's going to be Cody again or.
I wouldn't say multiple. I'd say a few, and we'll get to that news in just a bit. But first off, we got to talk about the sponsors. Matthew Thomas. Today, it's a collar and elbow kind of day. Hoodie. How do we get a hold of one of those?
Oh, you launch an internet browser, okay? So you can do that on a laptop or a desktop or you actually can do it on a smart TV now. Most smart TVs and apps have internet browser applications. You can do it on your phone, and you point that URL over to collarandbrand.com, and you put whatever you want to in your cart. It's not a real cart; it's a virtual cart. You just put whatever you want to in there, and then you got a little thing that says promo code. You enter promo code Linda K LINDAKAY, saves yourself 10% off of your order.
That's terrific. But really, what I want to talk about now is our other friend as well. Linda's going to give us a word on that.
Great. ProWrestlingInsurance.com. I don't know if it's fitting in this.
Just put them, up on the glass.
ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Make sure to go to the website. Chat with our great friend Chris. He can fill you in how you can have supplemental coverage for as low as $8 a month. Now, keep in mind, supplemental coverage is separate and different from regular health insurance. So whether you have health insurance or you don't, you can make sure you are covered with the supplemental plan from ProWrestlingInsurance.com, because if you get hurt, you get paid. I'll let Chris tell you a bit more about that, but let your curiosity take you onto your keyboard or your remote, Matthew, in case you're using your smart TV to use your internet browser.
Does it work on web TV?
Web TV, why not? Go to ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Find out about that supplemental coverage I just mentioned. Whether you're in pro wrestling, a pro wrestler, or non-pro wrestler, it's coverage for everyone. To find out also about event insurance coverage if you are an event planner, if you have a show you're doing coming up, as well as life insurance info and policies. Again, ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Visit our great friend Chris and make sure how you can get covered. And
you're wearing one of those amazing t-shirts as well, right?
Yes. We also have some hoodies. Got some pullover hoodies. I was wearing my zip-up hoodie, guys. Now, let me tell you, if you are sporting your ProWrestlingInsurance.com gear, you might get recognized while you are pushing an actual cart in a grocery store. That happened to me this weekend, guys.
Really? What were you shopping for?
Produce.
Produce. That's what I was trying to do as well. Except use the thing to stop the produce.
Right. I was leaving produce, going through the deli, through the bakery aisle, and then I had someone stop me who recognized me. Whatever media means. I know we've done TV, we've done web, we've done radio. We did
well over 20 years.
Access television as well. We obviously are doing a video podcast. But a gentleman, Meathead, he referenced you in particular, and you too, Matthew. A gentleman named DJ Booger, who said, fan of the show since the blog talk radio days, and specifically referenced the two of you. Who then said, apparently he is an expertise on condoms or something. I don't know. It's pro wrestling talk. That happens.
Very well known in the condom community.
And very well known in giving directions to said prophylactics.
So, I don't care to fill us in a little bit about this, but see, you can be sporting this. You can be sporting collar and elbow. You can be sporting any PWR.
It's like wearing a badge of honor out and loud. You know what I mean? You're wearing a badge of honor.
Absolutely. So thank you there, DJ Booger, for your support. And
Absolutely.
So
all right.
Right now. So
we appreciate
this here.
Yeah. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All
right. Let's get into a little bit of news here first. Rikishi is one that's basically been feeding the Bloodline. I mean, 3 out of the 5 members of the Bloodline all come from the house of Fatu. And there is another one coming Get ready. Hashtag thank you. Toko Uso. Tamako T. Fatu. The Fatu Legacy is now out taking bookings as well. So, boy, oh boy, Linda and Matthew, more Fatus hitting the streets and hitting the rings. Linda K.
Perhaps another Fatu at a GLCW show, because it's not too long ago we had Safa Fatu.
That's funny you say that. Yeah, it's funny that you say that because it seems that GLCW is the road to the Bloodline and the road to WWE, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that can be spoken for certain individuals, but that is awesome to hear. I mean, just more and more tremendous talents from the Bloodline, and also room there create other, dare I say, storylines, but just other scenarios, if you will.
Matthew Thomas, you've been at GLCW shows before. Have you noticed that there was a path for the Bloodline there? Did you notice that carpet? Like, enter here, Bloodline, exit here, WWE. GLCW is where it happens.
Yeah, that was one of the doors I almost accidentally went into a couple times. But yeah,
so you were almost accidentally in the Bloodline.
Yeah, it's very clearly marked there. But hey, the way you built that story up, though, I thought maybe Rikishi had another bun in the oven. I thought maybe he had a baby on the way. But you're talking about somebody. I got you. Somebody that's actually already been born and whatnot. So yeah, but who knows? I mean, maybe he can still, pump him out.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. He's also going by the name Toko Uso. Jacob Fatu, obviously, as well, who's done GLCW. Yep. He's currently in MLW. So lots of big stuff going down the pipeline there. Not Rikishi's pipeline, because that's a different story. Let's talk about some good news coming out of a former WCW talent. And the reason this isn't big news, like as far as the world of wrestling, right? But I want to put out good news on this man's name because he deserves it. Buff Bagwell, now 7 months clean after everything he's gone through with his addiction. We know we got to credit DDP for a lot of this, Matthew, but glad to hear that Buff on the straight and narrow.
Absolutely. That is outstanding news. Certainly glad to hear that. 7 months, you said, right?
7 months so far. Yep.
Great.
Motivational stuff is what I do. I want to give back to these people that I remember were digging for me, and I want to show them there's a way out of this mess of addiction, and there's a way out easily. So if anybody can do it, I can do it. Or if I can do it, anybody can do it. Sorry, a little backwards there. But he really believes it with all his heart. He's paying back is the key, but at the same time, man, he's 7 months clean. With that said, got a new thing coming up in April, and after that, I'm going to be back in the ring again. Uh-oh. Buff Bagwell, Linda, coming back to the ring.
I mean, speaking of GLCW, we've had Buff at Circle B numerous times, and not too long ago, we had him on site there. I think he was nursing an injury, so it was more of an appearance, and I think a kind of it was interference, not necessarily a run-in, but interference as well. But no, I mean, Buff is great, really nice.
Well, Buff is the stuff.
Yes, and he's looking tremendous. Great to hear. He's on that path to wellness and continuing that path and being motivational. I mean, that's just good stuff all around for pro wrestling. But as far as returning to the ring, we'll see to what extent.
Yeah. So, hey, last week, Friday on SmackDown, we got some big news from the Trips, Triple H, who was on Raw and SmackDown. And neither of the times did they mention the sale of WWE to the Endeavor Group, which also owns UFC and Formula One. However, Triple H did this last Friday night drop a bomb. And because he heard that I was a champion at the PWR draft, he figured, well, let me try to steal some of PWR's heat and their steam, and let's announce our own draft. Now, I want both of your opinions, Linda. We're going to start with you. The WWE will be drafting again. I have to ask this question, and I don't want to guide it in a particular way, but I got to give my opinion, then I'm going to guide it to you. Does the draft matter?
I think so in terms of factions. I know we discussed it just last week regarding Judgment Day, for example, with Rhea Ripley now as the SmackDown Women's Champion. Does that bring Judgment Day over to Raw? I mean, technically she is the champion, so she technically has that capability to hop from show to show. I think it's good to bring some shakeups in. I guess, I mean, it is nice to kind of just keep things. one just roster on both shows. Sometimes I'm just thinking.
So you're saying you don't
yeah.
like your
However,
mashed potatoes to kind of blend into your peas?
No, I mean, but I understand. I mean, they have a demanding travel schedule where you're keeping outside life in mind, that work-life balance. That's awfully important. So I think it's fine. I think it's good to shake things up. I mean, it's just interesting because obviously it's not, like you said, exactly mentioned that WWE has been sold to the Endeavor company, but it's referenced.
Right.
And that being Triple H speaking out on Monday at Raw, making it sound, to everybody that, hey, we had a meeting and nothing will change here. And I think that was leading toward the creative connotation there. And then Friday, just letting me know we're going to shake things up, just to bring a little bit more excitement. And for any doubters that, again, we don't know for 100% if Vince is back at creative and to what percentage.
Well, Vince's mustache is in charge of Vince now. So we'll get to Matthew because he's follically going to be our expert here. Matthew Thomas, Vince's mustache, if it doesn't have a Twitter handle yet, it better.
Oh my goodness, it is. That's been the biggest news coming out of WrestleMania. I mean, in a lot of ways, I think it's kind of it's buried the Endeavor story because, it's just.
So you're saying the elephant in the room is Vince's mustache and really overshadows WWE being sold.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the biggest stories to come out of the entire news cycle over the last couple of weeks.
So which mustache, though? Because if you think about it, the original pictures that were out there, he had the full-on mustache, all the way up here, and it was a good mustache. I actually was very proud of that mustache.
Yeah.
And then we seen the other one come up, the pencil-thin one that he's wearing over the top of his lip. Matthew, your choice, mustache A or mustache B?
I mean, as far as actual fashion goes, mustache A, but my goodness, I mean, people really wouldn't be talking about mustache A. This is there's not too.
Well, they would because Vince has never worn a mustache on TV.
Yeah. This is a different level of mustache, and the amount of meticulous grooming that's.
It looks villainous. It looks villainous, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's you got to think like it's not something he whimsically has done. I mean, there's some thought and deliberation that's gone into this.
We need to get somebody backstage to see if there's an office for Vince McMahon and an office for Vince McMahon's mustache. That needs to happen.
Are we 100% sure it's legit?
The mustache?
The mustache, not Photoshop, but I mean, could this be a prosthetic?
A prosthetic mustache. Linda, have you ever heard of a prosthetic mustache?
Oh yeah, and a lot of comedy bits, when they're in disguise, and then the tape comes off, and then you blow onto it, and it's falling off.
I guess. Well, Vince's mustache, Vince, he is around, and Triple H is letting us know that nothing's going to change creatively. The draft is coming again. But like I said, let's not let that bury the real news. Even though WWE got theirs out first, PWR would like to announce that their draft will be happening. It's the 2023-2024 season. It's a chance for redemption for everybody not named Meathead. Linda Kay and Matthew Thomas. It's jokes, and trust me, you've got 365 days of these coming. So.
No, I mean, honestly, I had a really strong team this year. I had it locked in. I'm, again, live and learn. I've done it twice. Now 3 times will I be late on the gun there to make a move, I should say, that is allowed, where that would have sealed my victory for this past season.
I can just see you now, being the road warrior you are, going, hold on, we got to stop off. Going to a gas station that's got free Wi-Fi. All right, I'm going to need to get here. Poop, send it. Now we can drive. No, yes. We'll be late. I have to get my picks in. So we're going to do it the Monday before WWE Backlash in Puerto Rico. That'll be April 29th, I believe, was the day. Am I not no, April 24th. I apologize.
24th. I was looking at my calendar.
Yep, April 24th. Matthew, you said you had multiple weeks. You have 2 weeks.
That's still multiple weeks.
Multiple would be 3 and up.
No, multiple is anything greater than 1. Linda?
Yeah.
Yes.
Falls into
2 to 1. Multiple people vote against you, Meathead.
Multiple people will be after my crown and my title as the reigning, defending, undisputed PWR Fantasy Draft Champion. The draft goes down April 24th. Make sure you're tuning in. Tell your friends. Tell DJ Booger to tell everybody, because we got to get this draft up and running. But let's get back into some news here. Raw last week, we saw, basically it was the Raw after WrestleMania, right? And I got to be completely honest. We talked about it a little bit. Was the Raw after WrestleMania quite possibly one of the worst Raw after WrestleManias that we had seen in a long time? And what did we get out of it other than Cody being attacked by Brock Lesnar? Matthew Thomas.
Yeah, it was, to me, it was on par with a lot of the Raws after WrestleMania that we've gotten in recent years. It does not seem to be that special show that it once was. I didn't think it was a great show. I know people are throwing it up there as far as one of the worst Raws after Mania of all time. I mean, as far as like, it was a website that I saw that rates like every WWE product, and they had this like the fourth worst show ever, like around the same ballpark.
Did it have Meltzer stars on it?
This wasn't This is like Meltzer's competition, I think. But no, it felt different, and you know, I think a couple things. You've got the letdown of Cody not winning at Mania, and then you've got Cody being absolutely destroyed. So I want to say this, though, back to the Cody stuff, watching a little bit. I haven't finished it, but watching a little bit of the Dusty biography on A&E last night. So much of Dusty's story before he beat Flair for the title was the chase. And like we talked about last week, I mean, Cody, yeah, he was chasing for a few months, but it wasn't the element of the chase that he was so close and didn't get it. And I think that's what they're going for. I think they're going for the Lesnar thing to tell more of a story of Cody's got all the odds against him. But I think at the end of the day, fans are disappointed. And the other thing that this poses is the Reigns title run has been so long now. You go to, if
nearing
not
1,000 days.
Yeah, if not Cody, who? And I think you've got a lot of people conditioned to Reigns keeping this until next WrestleMania. So I think a lot of that feeling is not just the disappointment in Cody losing, but seeing no viable threats for Reigns until almost a year from now.
And no viable end date, Linda Kay. Closing in on 1,000 days. Does Cody get a match again at Backlash? Does he get a match again at SummerSlam? Does he get it at Survivor Series, Royal Rumble? Does he have to win the Rumble again?
I think more of the latter there. I feel that he will have his rematch at WrestleMania next year. More of the story of the chase there. I think a big piece of night 2 of WrestleMania and from Raw after Mania, Matthew, like you said, is the fans feeling, not all, but it seemed like majority, feeling disappointed or let down that Cody did not win, that they were expecting this huge change to happen at WrestleMania, the end of an era with Reigns as champion, but obviously that didn't happen, which is fine. But I don't believe Cody will get a rematch anytime soon, hence that brutal beatdown by Brock Lesnar. And, you know, there were stories out there that apparently this was already in the works, perhaps. But I guess Raw, I mean, it did feel just something just different too. We didn't get any huge surprises or returns. That was always my.
We got one. We got Riddle.
Oh yeah.
But that's not huge, right? That's not huge.
Too.
Right.
Maybe more debuts.
Right. Where's the NXT call up? Where's the person that it's never been in a company before or is returning to the company? Right. I mean, think about, you know, all the returns that we've had over the last year since Triple H took over. I mean, some of them are doing well. Some of them are the Bullet Club or the OC, and they're just nowhere. I mean, they're not doing anything. Hit Row has kind of been relegated down to 3rd and 4th step now. So, I mean, where's the pop? Where's the shock value?
Perhaps with the draft, maybe it would be a positive spin on that would be a reintroduction into new feuds.
We could. All right, let's move on here. We're going to talk about Dynamite from last week, Wednesday. It was MJF Day in Long Island. And you know what? This stuff is comedy gold to me. It truly is. And MJF he's not a one-trick pony, right? When I saw the band come up, when I saw the things start to raise up there and kind of move up, I'm like, ooh, what are we getting? Oh, yeah. What is this? Is it a new talk show? Oh, no, it's MJF coming up. You know, me and music and wrestling, when it's put together, the first thing I thought, Linda, and this was me being selfish for you and me, oh, my God, if it's a talk show, are we going to get this next week? Because I will pop huge. By the way, Dynamite this Wednesday in Milwaukee. I was going to say M, and then I got Monday up. But this Wednesday in Milwaukee, we got all the matches announced, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. Linda Kate, your thoughts on MJF and the band and just the pomp and the circumstance?
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, I love the pomp and circumstance. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I think I did. I mean, not too long ago, we had the Reba mitzvah. Is that what
It was
is
a rebar mitzvah. Again,
Yeah.
not being Jewish. I didn't know there was such a thing. I knew of a bar mitzvah, but I didn't know of a rebar mitzvah.
Right, but just that type of celebration and kicking off the show last time. This time we get it. I don't think it kicked off the show, did I? Can't quite remember. However, we got MJF singing, snapping.
Yeah, MJF was doing the top of the 8 o'clock Central Hour, 9 o'clock.
That's what it was, yeah. But it was great. I mean, first of all, getting that kind of acknowledgement, if you will, from his hometown, that is tremendous. I mean, what a feeling.
He gets it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also just getting a type of celebration. But, weeks out from the next AEW pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, we already, I mean, we're getting it really a lot in our faces about the 4 pillars, but getting it shown to us in different ways are very entertaining. We had Jungle Boy, who was hidden in the band. He was a band member, right? Or was he a camera? No, he was in the band.
He was a band.
Yeah.
Because he hit the cymbals way too hard or something.
That's what it was. But no, I definitely enjoyed it. It's just just fun ways to really showcase MJF. We don't always need MJF laying down a pipe bomb. We can get this funny ha MJF as well.
This reminded me of the steak puns, very well done, Matthew, from the dinner and dancing that he did with Jericho. Matthew, your thoughts on the MJF day and being awarded the key to Long Island?
Yeah, I thought it was
that mayor was a heel too, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was almost like an animated segment come to life, like almost something you would see in Family Guy, where you've got this
Walker as a Family Guy
villain, with this song and dance routine.
If he would have had Vince's mustache on him, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, and it felt a little bit awkward the first time they were there, but now that we noticed that now that we see consistently, all right, he's going to be a face when he's in his hometown, or he's at least going to try to appease the crowd there. He's still a heel, but he's trying to appease the crowd there.
Yeah.
I think now that we know the formula, it's absolutely outstanding, because that first time we saw it, we're like, are they teasing a face turn? That's not the right thing to do with MJF. And we know exactly what it is. And outside of Brett and the Hart family or the Hart Foundation faction in Canada in the late
Britt Baker in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I like them going to this well.
Yep. Okay. So the MJF stuff is great. Matthew, big announcement from Tony Khan. Again, I keep waiting for a streaming service for AEW, so I don't have to. And we kept getting teased. But what we did get was, to announce this, Nigel McGuinness, formerly of Ring of Honor, formerly of WWE NXT and NXT UK, no longer with a job, and has been on the PWR as well, announcing that All In September will be coming to you live from Wembley Stadium. Matthew, are they going to fill the building?
They're going to try.
I know they're going to try. They might have to paper it a little, but
it's hard for me to gauge their international popularity. I just don't know, man. I don't. They're still in a lot of the venues they play here are still your smaller venues.
Your 2,000 to 3,000 seat buildings. Right?
Yeah. Like here, they're going to First Bank. They're not going to the Ball Arena.
Here in Milwaukee, they'll be going to the Panther Arena, which historically I think we've had almost sold out crowds, Linda. I mean, there's been some empty spots, maybe a little tarping in some of the areas.
Yeah. I would like to think they would, but they're biting off something big here. And I just, like I said, I don't have the knowledge of what international business looks like. I know what Impact has done overseas sometimes, where they're pretty hot and they're putting more.
Impact sold out Australia a couple nights. Remember that when they went down to Australia? WCW actually was hot down there too.
And a lot of it, I mean, what are they going to book? Are we going to have Punk in the, back in the equation at this point? I saw something the other day where there was speculation, if you can get Punk back in good graces with the company and you run just a one-on-one punch, Punk and Omega, you might have something significant there.
Punk Omega main event right there, and that would be a year removed.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I don't know, man. We'll see, but I do give them credit for giving it a
Swinging
shot.
for the fence.
I think they
Lin-
can do it.
Yeah, Linda, go ahead.
I maybe just fresh off the heels of WrestleMania weekend and all the international fans that I see that just came to LA. Again, not the same venue, and this is overseas and another product.
And it's
However,
Wembley Stadium. It's historic Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, I think they could do it, at least close to. Their first time across the pond, and they're going big, and they've got.
Linda, give me a number. Let's say the building holds 100,000.
100,000.
Give me a number that would be successful for them.
83.
83? Ooh, that's a big number. I'm saying if they could fill that thing with 40, 45,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that's successful. I mean, because you don't have to fill the back half of Wembley
Right.
Stadium.
Right.
You put because I mean, if you think like Live Aid, right, and you put the ring closer to the stage over there, and if you could fill all that and fill around that, and if you can get 40, I think that's a success. I don't know what it costs to rent the building, but
Can you get Phil Collins to AEW at Wembley?
Well, I believe in the air tonight. Hold on. All right.
Yeah. No, but I was going to say the way AEW appeals to the international crowd, and they've got some time. They just to shift that. Well, I know it was Mid Atlantic. Now it's the international.
International, yeah. Because I almost said intercontinental. It's the international.
Yeah, geared more toward.
Well, then you've got all this time to build up a European star that could take that belt
at Wembley.
At Wembley, right? I mean, is it Bulldog and Bret Hart? No, but
what's Drew McIntyre's contract look like?
Expired before then. If he doesn't leave the company. I mean, there's talk that Drew McIntyre unhappy with creative and with what's going on. I mean, Drew McIntyre got beat up a little bit at WrestleMania. There was a meme that I put out that everybody else is putting out. It gave the stats on who chopped, who hit, and who got hit. And it was just a bunch of meaty boys slapping meat all over the place. So, and then I got confused because I heard my name called. So, you never know. I mean, Drew McIntyre winning the title at All In could be a thing as well. He'd have to be Drew Gallows, but Drew Gallows would be huge.
I find it amazing. So you look at big moments of potential generational talents in WWE that those moments don't seem to come around. You go to Balor and the Universal title. You go to McIntyre and that Royal Rumble 2020 and the momentum that he had. And it's like, all right, he doesn't get his moment in front of people, but it will come around. The place just, the cards just have to be in the same order. And they seem so very fleeting in the WWE.
Yep. All right, let's go to one more thing from Dynamite last week. It was the main event, and it was the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It was FTR taking their career on the line against the Guns, Austin and Colton. And the very short title reign for the Guns, the Ass Boys, is over. Two-time AEW Tag Team Champions FTR. They are staying in AEW, Matthew Thomas.
Yeah, let's see what just a straight up AEW title run for FTR looks like. We had that big push, that story they were telling last year where they're carrying around 17 belts, but they can't get an AEW.
They dropped all of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just a FTR as faces as your AEW tag team. Let's see what this can look like.
Yeah. Interesting though. Gun Club got a new entrance.
Yeah, and they got licensed. Yeah, they got licensed music now. So the Guns, they put money into the Guns. Let's go to AEW's Rampage, which also had Battle of the Belt 6 attached to it, with no hype going to it whatsoever. There was a title match on Rampage, and it was for the FTW Championship. It was Hook and All Ego Ethan Page. Hook still running, still undefeated. Linda.
Yeah. It was unique to see the FTW rules, which they mentioned have not been in place since '99. I believe it was Tab and Sabu, I believe they mentioned. So great to see. I mean, Hook, a lot of his matches pretty quick in the ring. He puts his judo into play, his submission. Got to see some use of some weaponry. Okay, this is something different that we don't see from Hook. I thought him and Ethan Page had a tremendous match. It was a great way to
I love the match.
Rampage. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And that table was set up in the corner of that ring.
And then the match was over.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, yeah, of course, Ethan Page still went through it
Then he
later,
used
but
it.
it didn't need to be used in the match, which was great to see because you don't always need to use everything that's
Right.
at your disposal.
Yep. All right. So the rest of the night was a pretty standard Rampage. Let's get the Battle of Belts, Linda.
Can I mention one more? Oh,
Yeah, go
Battle,
for it.
yes. I was just going to say that the TBS Championship was online as well. And I just want to mention this because we saw, I think, the TV debut of Billy Starks, who is from Louisville, by the way. Just some things I've learned about her. Number one, she's only 18 years old. Number
Yep.
two, her first time wrestling in Louisville, allegedly, I don't, this is what I heard, was at this year's OVW Women's Rumble. But prior
Wow.
to, she's been around the world, and they mentioned her accolades a lot of her time in Japan and just internationally, and definitely a rising star. I said the young rising star, Billy Starks. I just wanted to pin that up, point that out.
Yeah, of course, we got to point those out.
Yeah.
But Linda, now I want to talk about AEW's Battle of the Belts. Orange Cassidy taking on Dralistico with Jose the Assistant, Roosh, and Preston Vance. Not really a challenge for Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy remaining the international champion.
Yes, which will made prediction here will kind of gear more toward the area there right across the pond as we lead up to All In.
Yep. The House of Black appears on the screen after the match, and they say they're gracious enough to put their titles on the line against the Best Friends as long as Orange puts up his title. So that's going to be something that's coming up. It's going to be for the trios and the international. I'm doing pretty good. I feel like JR here. I'm doing pretty good remembering international, not intercontinental. Once in a while, they will slip out. So Billy Starks with her debut AEW match against Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill winning and retaining. Taya Valkyrie. Is she the one, Linda, to take it off of her?
I think that could be. I think this is going to go all the way to Double or Nothing. And I think I mean, you think about who can take that belt off Roman Reigns. Now, who can take that belt off Jade Cargill? And it's definitely looking that way. It's building toward that and having Taya Valkyrie there. Huge, huge acquisition. And, just a fan favorite. And I see it can happen.
Matthew Thomas, Jade Cargill wins, retains, but really the main event was the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix with Alex Abrahantes taking on the TNT champion Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall with QTV available. QTV actually starting to gain a little momentum for me, and I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit more. What was the thing that, and I forget his name now, he was handing out something in the QTV segment as they were mocking each other. The guy in the back, Aaron Solo. Yeah. He did something. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again, but it was actually pretty entertaining. Matthew, I know you know the answer.
The correct answer is I think QTV is extremely entertaining, and I've been on board with QT since the very, very few days of I'm a QT fan, almost like I'm an Homo sapien in the WWE. That is a thing. I don't know if either one of you are familiar with that.
Almost sapien.
Homo sapien. Yeah, there is a current of Homos fans that are calling themselves Homo sapiens now. It's starting to get a lot of momentum in the WWE fan base. So yeah. But anytime I can get QT on my TV, it's a good thing. But yeah, look it up, Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens on TikTok. Homo sapiens rise up. Hashtag WWE. Hashtag almost. Hashtag Homo sapien. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's the Homo sapiens hashtag on Instagram. Yikes. I'm not clicking any farther. Linda K. I don't know where to go with that. By the way, in case we didn't talk about it, Jay White now all elite in AEW, and he's running with Juice Robinson. Linda, what do we got coming up this Wednesday at Dynamite/Rampage? What are we gonna see? We're gonna get some Adam Cole, baby.
I believe so. Yeah, we have Jericho and Keith Lee. That's a match I'm looking forward to this week. Yeah, so
Dynamite. And he said it very eloquently. I'll see you in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Thanks, Keith.
Yeah, Dynamite will be live at the UWM Panther Arena in Milwaukee this Wednesday night. Rumor has it myself and Meathead will be there.
Not a rumor, confirmed.
Rumor has it that I mean, we don't know to what extent.
Oh, I'll be around. I don't know what I'll be doing. I mean,
Okay.
I'll be around.
Yes, but we will be there live enjoying Dynamite. This is our third Dynamite together there. That is the third time that AEW has been in Milwaukee, and they did make note this is the only time this year that AEW will be in Milwaukee. So excited for that. Also, are you asking me if I have anything else going on this week, or are we just talking about
no, it's time.
Oh, okay.
Tell me what's going on.
Well, just like last time, I got to hit the road really early because this weekend I'll be back in Louisville for OVW. So excited to be back at OVW and the historic Davis Arena, because leading up to we have the go home show to OVW's new pay-per-view, Blood and Steel.
Oh yeah, and I know what's going on happen there.
Will be in the steel cage, so that should be great to see. But yeah, Thursday night live on Fight TV every Thursday night. You can catch OVW TV 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. There,
yes,
Matthew.
So people want to know.
Yes.
Hey, I've got to ask this question. You've got an in with the kid that wears the fanny pack, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are those snapbacks? Are they mesh? What kind of hats has he got out there now?
They're quite the variety.
Okay, because I mean, the man they call Meathead has always been a new era 5950 type fitted kind of cap. I'm looking for a 7 5/8. If I can get her a 7 3/4, I got a big head.
I don't know how cap hat sizing works. I know it's those.
That's what I'm saying. Are they snapbacks, as in it's adjustable?
I'll find out, because I will. Yes, I will find out.
We'll have to figure that out, because
Yes.
that kid selling the merch, he's up and down the road selling that merch. So
absolutely, I will just add to.
Is that your shoot measurements, or is that your?
Oh no, legit 7 5/8. But after winning the PWR Fantasy Draft, I'm up to 7 3/4. Yeah. I mean, it's just inflating.
Heard it here. Meathead 7 3/4.
7 3/4. Resting 7 3/4. That's why thank you, DJ Booger, for helping out, by the way.
Yes. But also this Saturday night, again, OVW live on pay-per-view is OVW Blood and Steel, which you can order on Fight TV, which you can get for just $7.99 by subscribing to Fight Plus, by the way.
Gotcha. Love it. Perfect. And again, all the best wishes to the kid that wears the fanny pack, because he's in a steel cage match.
Yeah,
and Tim and Tony versus EC3 and Jesse Goddard.
Yeah.
That sounds main event to me. So
absolutely, I'm so excited for that.
Oh, I'm not, because I don't want Cal to bleed.
Wow.
I guess the fanny pack kid's going to become a fanny pack man in about a minute.
Foreign objects he can put in his fanny pack.
People always try to say he's cheating. He's got something in his fanny pack. Well, it seems to be legal, possibly.
And this Saturday it'll be illegal. So let's see what I did there. Matthew Thomas, the draft is coming up May 4th. I need to know, what is your preparation? How are you going to avoid being in dead last?
So I'm currently in like my 57th version of a mock draft.
Do you go to the websites and do mock drafts back and forth?
No, I've got little action figures. I've got an action figure for you and an action figure for Linda, and then all my action figures.
Is it an action figure with a piece of paper cut out on top of it, or have you actually molded and crafted my face?
Yeah, no, it's with my little woodworking kit that I got a while back.
Oh.
I'm concerned about your action figure of Linda. I mean, we already seen the Harley Quinn in the house.
Yeah. No, it's I made sure I whittled everything to exact, precision. So.
All right. Well, that is the week as it was for Linda K. For Matthew Thomas. I'm the man they call Meathead, your PWR Fantasy Draft winner and defending champion, saying so long. Thanks for stopping by.